This is Marvel Rivals. Heard of it? Probably. It's kind of the hottest hero shooter on the market right now. And for good reason, too. This game is a fascinating mix-up of the genre. Between the dynamic and fun heroes and villains that everyone knows and loves, to the amazingly implemented team-up mechanic, this game has it all. I'm here to get you started on your journey to be a hero. So let's get started with the basics. That is what I'm here for, after all. And we've got a lot to cover here. So suit up, and welcome to Rivals Kindergarten. Alright, Rivals Season 3.5. Blade is out. That's pretty cool. There's a couple team-ups that have come out. One that came out in last season, but I was gonna, or in the last split, but I was gonna wait till Season 3.5 came out before I actually talked about it. Those of you who are familiar with the game will understand which team-up I'm talking about, that being the Human Torch and Thing one. Those of you who are new here, this is Rivals Kindergarten, where I talk about, basically, at first it was teaching you a bit about the characters and how to play them, and now it's just kind of become a patch notes, like a I read patches and I do the thing. Veered away from the scripted stuff because I don't need to worry about getting my point across as concisely as possible, so I stopped doing scripted stuff a couple seasons ago. But now I'm doing it non-scripted. But as of right now, let's just talk about it. Season 3.5 so far has been pretty interesting. I'm on record as to saying I think this season is probably one of the worst seasons in the game. Not because of any metas or anything like that. Obviously the metas are pretty ass this season, but just because of double DPS. Let's overinflate our DPS roster a lot. That'll be great. But that's a different story. I'm a support and tank player, so this is just a personal attack on me. You know, that's how I'm gonna play it off. I don't actually care that much, but I'll pretend I do. Either way, I don't think there's anything I need to talk about. As usual, I'm gonna be reading the patch notes. Then I'm gonna talk about the team ups and changes to existing team ups. And then I'm going to be talking about any reworks, which there are none this season or this patch, and I'm going to be talking about the new hero on the block, Blade, because he just came out, and I honestly think he's a blast. Like, see, I might be annoyed that there's 2 DPS this season, but at least they cooked with them, right? At least they're both fun, and that's fine. I can forgive it, as long as they slow the fuck down on DPS launches, which they won't, but a man can dream. Either way, with that, let's read some fucking patch notes, motherfuckers. Okay, this is my second time recording this. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm going back into the patch notes, so basically, we're gonna have to speedrun this, because I don't want to do this all over again. Basically, Doctor Strange got a buff. He has 2 more projectiles in his primary fire. Daggers of Danok, he went from 8 to 10, and he got a Cloak of Levitation cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. Groot got a buff. His Vine Strike range was increased from 20 meters to 22 meters, and Flora Colossus effect range was increased from 20 meters to 24 meter radius. So he now can affect his walls from further away. Magneto got a nerf. Both of his bubbles, Metal Bulwark and Iron Bulwark, went from lower health, so 300 to 250. They now have 250 HP. Thor got a buff, it seems like. He gains 1 fixed Thor force upon exiting the Awakening Rune Awakened state, whether manually or through duration. And his Lightning Realm has a new effect. Enemies leaving its boundary are grounded for 2 seconds, restricting aerial abilities. Black Panther got a nerf. His Spirit Rend cooldown was increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. Iron Fist got what looks to be a buff. Increased Jeet Kune Do's 5th strike damage from 50 to 55. increase Yaji Chongquen's percentage damage of the enemy's health per max strike. Max health per strike, rather, from 2.1% to 2.7%. Adjust harmonic recovery bonus health decay start time from 1 second to 2 seconds, and increase Kunlun Kick's first strike damage from 30 to 35. Star-Lord got a buff, gained 25 bonus health when using his dodge for a max of 25, which lasts for 3 seconds before decaying to 0 after 1 second. Wolverine got a nerf, not in the way anyone expected, but he did get a nerf. Increased the energy cost of Last Stand from 2800 to 3400, and he no longer gains ultimate charge from the lifesteal portion of the Phoenix Warrior team-up ability. Spider-Man got a buff, increased damage per second of Spectacular Spin from 150 per second to 170 per second. Adam Warlock got a buff, reduced the energy cost of Karmic Revival from 5,000 to 4,700. Karmic Revival new effect. Revived allies gain bonus health equal to 70% of their maximum health, which lasts for 5 seconds before decaying to 0 over 2 seconds. And Cosmic Cluster new effect. Each hit now reduces Avatar lifestream charge times by 0.3 seconds. Cloak and Dagger got a nerf. Increased the energy cost of Eternal Bond from 4,000 to 4,300. And Mantis got a nerf. If you say this is a buff, you're crazy. This feels like shit. She did get more healing because of the team-up anchor, but because of that, her healing was reduced from 12.5 per second to 10 per second over time, because her healing flowers no longer heal as much. And her primary fire ammo capacity was reduced from 20 to 15. Her ult did get a buff. Her ult feels a bit better. Increase Soul Resurgence excess healing to bonus health conversion rate from 0.7 to 1. So basically, every tick of healing you're doing is converting into bonus health instead of just 3/4 of it. As for the team-ups, changed team-ups is Atlas Bond was removed, so was Guardian Revival. Rest in peace, my sweet summer child, you'll forever be missed. Characters were added. Loki was removed from Ragnarok Rebirth, and the Ever-Burning Bond team-up got a buff. From what it sounds like, it's a buff. I don't actually know if it's a buff, but the way that it's worded, it sounds like a buff. Reduce the backflip distance after activation from 12 meters to 7 meters, allowing for more reliable follow-ups with moves like Amazing Combo. Now that sounds like a buff to me, but I also don't play Spider-Man, so that might not be a buff. Anyway, with that aside, let's move on to the last thing we gotta do before talking about Blade, which is talking about the team-ups. Instead of Iron Fist giving Luna a team-up, Luna now is changed and gives Iron Fist a team-up. It's called Lunar Chi, and basically what it does is it makes Iron Fist's heal in a 10 meter wide radius and a 10 meter tall height cylindrical spell field, and it just basically does what his thing does. It has the same cooldown, basically everything's the same, it just is now able to affect him and everyone around him. It's actually pretty crazy. On to new team-ups, we have the Vibrant Vitality team-up with Mantis, Groot, and Loki. Let's talk about Loki first. Mantis serves as the anchor. Loki gets a overhaul ability. It changes how his regeneration domain works. It changes it to Deific Blessing, and it's the same. It's bigger. It expands the radius to 6.5 meters, and the height stays the same. It lasts for 5 seconds, heals you for 100 per second, and has a cooldown of 30 seconds, and gives you a 25% damage boost. So it covers a bigger area and damage boosts as well, but everything else about it is the same. But yeah, so that's the Loki side of Team Up. Groot gets the Wild Wall ability, which is a third wall. And basically, when awakened, every like 3 or 4 hits, it will send a burst of 40 healing towards random nearby allies and grants them damage reduction. It has 150 health and a 10 meter spherical radius spell field. And if it is destroyed or dismissed, it has a cooldown of 10 seconds. And that's the Groot. That's the Groot part of whatever this team up is called, Vibrant Vitality. Star-Lord was added onto the Rocket Network team up with Rocket and Penny, Rocket serving as the anchor, and he gets a new ability called Astral Jump. And if you played Overwatch, it functions a lot like Sombra's old Translocator, which means, for those of you who don't know, the teleport is global. You can be anywhere on the map, and as long as your teleporter is active, you can teleport to it. It doesn't matter as long as you press the button and it's not on cooldown. There's a 1-second teleport delay, and it has 100. The summon has 100 HP, and once you teleport, it has a 30-second cooldown before you can teleport again. And if it's destroyed or you undeploy it, you resummon it back to yourself, it takes 5 seconds to cool down. So there's a shorter cooldown if it's destroyed or you recall it, is the word I was looking for. But if you just teleport, it has a 30-second cooldown. It's kind of nutty. It has some really good pairs because Star-Lord's kit is just very, very well designed. So I think this is honestly a really good ability. And that's that. Next is the First Steps team up between Human Torch and Thing. Basically, it functions like the Fastball Special, where both people need to confirm it in order to do it, or stars aligned. Basically, once that happens, though, the Human Torch picks the Thing up and then can throw him down onto the ground. And when the Thing lands, it does a... you can fly for 8 seconds, and when the Thing lands, it does a launch up, 30 damage, gives everyone the Earthbound condition in the area of effect, and causes 15 damage per second. So basically just the crater of his Yancey Street charge. And that's just kind of what it does. He just picks the Thing up and throws him down. And the cooldown is 30 seconds. And if you fail to interact like the other ones, it is a 3-second cooldown. So that's that. Next up, Blade was added to the Lunar Force team up. It functions basically identically to Moon Knight's, where he gets that bubble that heals him over time. But he has a new thing in the ability where, as you can see, he can press the team up button again while in the invisible bubble to dash out and swift strike. Excuse me. His ability is called New Moon. It has a cooldown of 25 seconds. And while in the bubble, you heal 50 HP per second. And you can only swift strike towards people within 20 meters of you. And the swift strike does 60 damage. And that's that. That's the team up for him. Last but not least is the Duality Dance team up between Adam Warlock and Luna Snow. When Luna Snow is near an enemy, she can press the button and will link to all enemies in 20 meters, a 20 meter radius of her. She can go 25 meters away before they break. If she goes 26 meters away, they will break. The link lasts for 6 seconds, and you get a 1-to-1 lifesteal, basically. And it works as basically an aggressive soul bond. So if you do 250 damage, the link will break. and it has a, I don't know if I said this already, but it has a cooldown of 30 seconds. It's kind of an interesting ability. I wish someone besides Luna had gotten it, maybe like a DPS hero, but I think it's a cool ability nonetheless. So yeah, and that's the last team up. Now we can move on to talking about Blade. All right, and now it's time to talk about Blade. Now I played a few games as him, and I've gotten I don't have like an amazing grasp on him so far, but I'm gonna tell you my opinion because that's what I do. So first, let's get into talking about his like general stats, right? Okay, so his base stats are, he has 350 HP, so he's quite tanky for a duelist. He is in the duelist role, obviously. He's quite tanky. He has the base movement speed, nothing crazy there. He just has the tanky health. Let me check real quick. I don't know if he has more or less. I think he has less than Mr. Fantastic, because I'm pretty sure Reed has 375 now. Yeah, he has 375 now. So he has less than Mr. Fantastic, but he's still quite a damage sponge. He has two primary attacks. The first is his default, called Ancestral Sword. It's a melee. He has basically an attack pattern. So he swings once and it does 22 damage, and then he swings on like the third swing, he does a double strike that does 13 damage per hit. So it does less damage per strike with the double hit, but more damage overall. So it's a pretty mean 1-2 thing there. It has a range of 4.5 meters and attacks at 2 strikes per second. His second primary fire is the Hunter's Shotgun, which is a shotgun pistol. It has a similar feel to Bucky's shotgun, where it has a very fast-moving projectile. But it's pretty. It chunks. It moves at 150 meters per second, and the initial projectile, so like because at 8 meters it'll burst into a shrapnel. So at 8 meters, anything before 8 meters, it does a 45 damage thing. But if it shatters or like shrapnels, it does 12 per shrapnel amount. I don't know how much shrapnel it actually breaks into because it doesn't say. 12 shrapnel total and 8 per thing. So that would be 8 times 12. That's 96 damage. If it shotguns. If every pellet hits. And that's that. It has an ammo capacity of 8. So you can get some spam going. His secondary fire is his deflect, or his block rather, his parry. You become CC immune while doing this, and reduce damage taken from the front, and decreasing the cooldown of Daywalker Dash, which is one of his abilities. And it runs on an energy, and it costs 60 energy per second, and it has a maximum energy of 120. It recovers at a rate of 15 energy per second. And for the first 0.4 seconds after activation, you are unstoppable, meaning you're CC immune. And you have 80% damage reduction. Every 200 damage resisted grants 1 charge for Daywalker Dash. Speaking of Daywalker Dash, we'll just go straight to Daywalker Dash. He has 2 charges of it, and it's a dash, right? Cause damage. When you hit, you dash 15 meters and you do 20 damage. If you hit while wielding the gun, the Hunter's Shotgun, you deal healing reduction to the enemy, 40% healing reduction. If you hit while wielding the sword, you inflict a slow. The healing reduction lasts for 3.5 seconds and is 40%, like I said. The slow rate is 15%, or sorry, 35%, and lasts for 1 second. I don't know why I said 15. I'm illiterate, I promise. If you have the gun, you do a second hit when you dash in for another 20 damage. And if you have the sword, you do 15 damage per hit, and you do 4 hits in total. So it's kind of a, because you do like a spin when you have the sword. You like do a whirlwind. And then last but not least, before we get to his ultimate, is his basically awakened form. It's called Bloodline Awakening, and upon activation, you get 60% lifesteal, which ignores the next part. It doesn't count towards it because it just exists independently. You also receive 40% less healing for while activated. It is a quote-unquote permanent thing, which means you have to manually dismiss it in order for it to not be active. You get a 1.5 meter per second movement speed boost, and basically you have this meter. And when you hit people with your sword, you're locked to your sword. When you hit people with the ancestral sword, you basically work things up in a stack. A sword strike does one stack. If you hit with your dash, it does 5 stacks. And every stack you get increases your attack speed by 10%. And each stack lasts 0.7 seconds. The Whirlwind Slash is also increased. The damage is increased to 56. But the Whirlwind Slash you have to do 5 hits in order to increase. It's kind of a complicated ability when you like read out all what it does. But when you're playing as Blade, it makes sense. This is on. This has no cooldown. It just is something you activate in order to activate it, and you just have it up, and you can dismiss it by pressing the same button, and that's that, right? So yeah, that's not true. I guess it has like a 2-second cooldown, I think. Actually, sorry, I'm reading the ability descriptions live as I'm recording, because I don't want to write a script. Last but not least is his ultimate ability, Thousandfold Slash. This is crazy, by the way. This is probably one of the better dual assaults. It's pretty good. It costs 2,800 energy, and upon cast, you get a 25% slow and basically start charging up for 3 seconds your Dracula's sword. And it dashes a minimum of 10 meters and a maximum of 24 meters, and directly hitting enemies does 100 damage. In the spell field, which is 6 meters wide and 4.5 meters high and 24 meters long, you do 225 damage per second for 2 seconds. And apply healing reduction, 20% for 4 seconds. So anyone who survives has reduced healing by 20% for 4 seconds. It's kind of a crazy ability. It's really strong. I think Blade, now that I'm done talking about his abilities and I can kind of get my thoughts out, Blade is very strong. I think I've said that about a lot of the heroes coming out, but this one I definitely mean it. I think Blade is gonna get nerfed. He's gonna get nerfed heavily because he's very good. And anti-heal is just such a strong ability. It's just a strong condition in a game like this. I don't think they're gonna nerf the anti-heal. I think they're gonna nerf a lot of other stuff around him, because anti-heal is kind of his identity. A lot of what you get with Blade is his anti-heal and his high burst damage. and his like very good brawl potential. And because of that, I think while he does function in a dive comp, and he can poke, very not great, but he can poke. He is capable of poking, and his dive is all right. I think he's very much a brawl focused hero because he has the high HP. He has the like consistent burst damage and just like close range proficiency. I think Blade fits into like a brawl dive combo, kind of like I put Magic, but and that's actually a really good comparison. I think Blade is very similar, is basically a hybrid between Bucky and Magic, but he plays in such a unique way that I think it doesn't detract from, like, you're not going to be detracting from the value of Magic or Bucky because of his existence. He's still going, like, they're all going to get played the same amount, I reckon. I foresee some Blade bans being pretty common, but overall, I think he is a fairly good hero, and even though, like I said, I'm annoyed that Season 3 was a double duelist season, they did in fact cook with the duelists. Phoenix is a blast, and Blade is very fun. And that's at the end of the day, that's what matters. Not the complete evenness of every role, although that would be nice. Just the characters they release being fun. And that is the most important part of a hero shooter to me, are the heroes fun? And I think Blade and Phoenix are fun. So, with that all said and done, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. That's what the button exists for. I'm not going to get mad if you dislike it, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be here making videos. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. Unless you're a dickhead, I will be totally open to having a discussion with you. But if you are a dickhead, I'm just gonna fucking ignore you because I don't have time for negativity. So don't be a dickhead. I don't know everything. I'm not, you know, professing to being super knowledgeable on everything to do with Marvel Rivals. I just want to share my opinions. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing. So, with that aside, I don't think I have anything left to say. Besides, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next season. And class dismissed.